Behold the incredible world of investment apps. Today I want to share with you the difference between Stash and Robinhood. The title of the video is You Might Be Surprised, and I'll go through exactly what that means. So stay tuned, let's get started with the video. Did you know only 1 in 3 millennials actually invest their money, and that actually includes retirement accounts? That is not good. Millennials, we need to start investing. That's a very, very important thing because long term, you can pay off significantly and build your nest egg and your net worth that you deserve. What broke down that barrier to entry is these investment apps. You got Webull, you got Robinhood, you got Acorns, you got Stash. And in my last video that I just did comparing Webull and Robinhood, a lot of people ask, well, what about Stash? Well, what about Stash? That's what we're talking about today. I'm gonna put head to head the Stash investment app with the Robinhood investment app, and which one is better for you. What I'm gonna start off with first is the similarities between both of these apps. Then we're gonna dive into the differences and why you might be surprised with which one I would recommend. Now, I'm not one of those guys that starts one of these videos and it's a sponsored video where I have never used this investment app and I'm just trying to regurgitate crap that I haven't used. No, this is not a sponsored video. And in fact, I've used both of these investment apps. Stash I used a little bit longer. Now Stash I've used for about 2 years now. Robinhood, I've been in that game for about 8 months. So I have used these things. I have transferred money in, transferred money out, purchased stocks, sold stocks, and everything in between. So when I tell you the differences, I've been through them and I want to share them with you. So let's start with the similarities. Similarities with Stash and Robinhood is that they both offer fractional shares. Long story short, in the past, when you wanted to buy one share of a company, you had to put up the entire cost of that share. For example, let's take a look right now at Apple. Yeah, at the recording of this video, Apple's going for 119 bucks. Guess what that means for you? In the past, you would have had to put up 119 bucks. But thanks to fractional shares, you can put up the amount of money that you have available and get a fraction of that full share. So let's say you only have $5. Well, you can put in $5 and get the equivalent of $5 worth of the share of Apple. Then as the market goes up and down and that share price changes, you get the opportunity of either getting your $5 to go up or down depending on the market timing. So that has made it really cool and very easy to start investing with either one of these apps. Some other similarities, they're both free to download from the App Store or the Google Play Store onto your smartphone. You can also use them on the web. You can go on to a browser if you have a home computer or something like that. You can certainly use it that way. But I find that a lot of people like to use the app because as you're traveling, going out into the world, you can pull up your stock portfolio and see how you're doing. They both allow automatic investments, and I think this is where it's very cool. In the past, you've heard me talk about Starbucks. I gave up Starbucks, and what I do now is I take that $5 per week that I was putting towards Starbucks coffee, and I put it toward this. So what I do now is I have $5 per week automatically going into Stash. I have $10 a week automatically going into Robinhood. If you don't have a lot of money to start, that's fine. You can transfer as little as like $1 into either one of these and just do that week by week. It'll automatically debit it out of your bank account and invest it into whatever you'd like. But let's get to the good stuff, right? You want to know, why am I going to be surprised, Bob? And furthermore, what are the big differences between these two if you're looking to get started off? So over here, I'm going to talk about Stash. Over there, I'm going to talk about Robinhood. Let's compare them. The very first thing is what these investment apps actually offer. Stash offers things like stock trading and a lot of banking. So you can do like your IRA, you can do a debit card, you can do things like that, which makes it cool for the everyday new investor. That's what's nice about Stash. Now, Robinhood, a little bit more advanced. They don't offer things like the IRA and the banking and the debit card, at least not at this time, but they do offer things that Stash does not. Cryptocurrency. So if you're into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the cryptocurrency things out there, Robinhood allows you to invest in that cryptocurrency. So you might want to check that out. They also allow you to purchase the stocks, very similar to Stash, but they also allow you to purchase options. Now, options is a little bit more of an advanced tactic. It's not for the beginners of these investment apps, but as you want to scale up, as you grow your knowledge in these investment worlds, Robinhood allows you to scale that up with purchase of options if you wish to do so. Another key difference between these two, which is a little bit strange, but in my past video, when I was comparing Webull app to Robinhood, I talked about how Webull is a little bit more difficult to navigate, takes a little bit more advanced knowledge, and Robinhood is fairly easy. Well, I'll still say that Robinhood is easy, But I'm also going to say that Stash is very, very easy. Let me give you a great example. Let's say you transfer in $5 and you want to put that $5 into the stock market. With Stash, you can go into their app and they make it kind of simple to understand. They basically put all the investment in layman's terms. For example, you can go in and click on their investment options for beginners. And one that I particularly like is Delicious Dividends. Now, Delicious Dividends, well, that is an actual ETF that you can trade on the market, but they break it down and they have a cool little image. They call it Delicious Dividends and they explain what it's all about. These are companies that typically pay anywhere from a quarterly to a monthly dividend that you get extra money on top of the growth of that particular stock. Now, the big difference here is if you scroll to the bottom of Delicious Dividends, you will notice that it does state this is the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. So that has its own ticker symbol, but you don't have to worry about that. Within Stash, you can just type in what you believe in. Let's say it's the travel industry. Let's say it's new technology. It makes it super simple to understand thanks to Stash and how they organize their modes of investments. Now with Robinhood, makes it a little bit more tricky because you need to know the particular ticker symbol. So with Robinhood, let's say you do want to invest in what Stash calls Delicious Dividends, you would have to know the ticker symbol, which by the way, if you don't know it, is SCHD. And then you can go into that. Now where this is kind of nice though from a Robinhood perspective, I'm actually going to jump over and look at Apple again, the individual stock of Apple. And I do like the amount of information that Robinhood provides, unlike Stash. For example, you can see the analyst ratings on this particular stock, or really any stock that you pull up. It lets you know if they're stating that you should buy it, hold it, sell it. That's their recommendation. And then it gives you some news on the topic. It also gives you some information between what people are saying about the stock, and I think that's really helpful. And that gives you a little bit more control, so you can not only learn about the stock market, but you can say, you know what, does this make sense to me? Do I want to keep moving forward with it? Stash, while they do offer news and some things like that, it's not as detailed as Robinhood. So just keep that in mind. Let's talk about another difference, and that is free stuff and free benefits you get when you sign up for either one of these apps. Because who doesn't like free stuff? I mean, right? Give me a like if you like free stuff. And if you don't like the video, you don't like free stuff? Come on. Tap that like button down below. When you get started with Robinhood, you don't even have to deposit any money. You can just sign up for an account. This is what it looks like. They're going to give you a free stock just for signing up. It can be something small, something typical. Maybe it's a $5 stock, $6 stock, whatever they do. But you do have a chance to get a bigger stock. About, I think it's like 1 in 500, 1 in 300, something like that. Could get a big one like an Apple or a Tesla or one of the big boy stocks. So definitely worth checking out. And what you could do is sign up, get your free stock, and just let it sit and check it out and see what happens. And before you invest your money, you can see what it's all about with the free stock that you own. And then as you get comfortable, then you can decide if you want to transfer money in or not. With Stash, they offer a lot of different type of free offers when you first sign up. Sometimes it can be $5 when you sign up. Sometimes it can be as much as $20 when you sign up. And sometimes they do offer free stocks. So both links to Robinhood and Stash are down below in the description. When you click on those do have the promotions applied, the latest and greatest promotions. So check both of them out and see what they're offering and make the best decision for yourself. How about we cut through the BS? Talk about the title of this video. You might be surprised. In the next couple comparisons I'm going to do between these two, this I think is what's going to make or break your decision. So here we go. The first thing is going to be a little bit of a bust on Robinhood. Come on, Robinhood. You guys, if you're watching this video, you got to get your act together and figure out how to make this happen. But it is contact information. With Stash, if you need to get a hold of somebody, if you have an issue, something's going on, you can contact them via email. You can contact them in the app. You can contact them on the phone. Pick up your phone, call Stash, and say, yo, I got a problem. Robinhood, you can contact them on email or the app. No phone number. So if that's something that's serious to you and you're like, I really need to have a phone number, I need to be able to pick up the phone and call somebody if I need something or have a question, with Robinhood, you're SOL. And in fact, you would have to wait until they reply to your email. Now, if you don't really care about that, if you're like, I'm not like in a mad rush, I can send an email, contact them via the app and just let it sit, then that's cool. But if you're somebody that you kind of feel that anxiety coming on, you need to pick up that phone, you might want to lean a little bit more towards Stash. But now for this next one, I'm going to bust on Stash. Cost. With Robinhood, it's free. You sign up for the app, you can put as much money or as little money as possible into the stock market or into cryptocurrency or whatever you want to use Robinhood for, and they don't charge you a monthly fee or anything like that. Stash charges a monthly fee, and it's something to be serious about. It's not a whole lot of money. It's $1 per month. Some of you might be like, but I don't want to pay $1 per month. Well, if that's the case, you might want to lean a little bit more toward Robinhood, especially when it comes down to fractional share trading. Great way to enter the investment and stock market, but $1 a month, for some people, if you break down the cost of how this works, it's kind of an annoyance. The last thing is, yes, another bust on Stash, but it is what it is, and that's the trading windows. Stash has specific trading windows, and a lot of people get confused and a little bit frustrated with this when it comes down to trading on Stash. For example, you want to sell one of your ETFs, you want to sell one of your stocks, whatever it may be, and you hit sell, everything's fine, and you know that you sold it for like $50, okay? And you're like, okay, I should get $50 into my account. All of a sudden you get 47. Well, wait a minute, what happened to your money? Did they rob you? Did Stash lose money? What the heck happened? Well, what happens is, because of the specific trading windows during the market being open, that price could fluctuate. They have it once in the morning and once in the afternoon, and that is their trading window. So if you hop on first thing in the morning before that trading window and you decide to sell, you just got to keep in mind, if that price is fluctuating a lot in that stock for that particular day, you could end up taking a little bit of a dive. On the converse, you might get a little bit of a rise depending on what that stock price is, but just something to keep in mind. With Robinhood, they typically execute, as long as the market's open, immediately. So when you sell 50, you usually get your 50 and all is good. Just something to keep in mind. Now, which one would I recommend to you? I don't know about you, but I would say that a lot of people would be surprised at the fact that you got to pay a $1 monthly service fee for Stash, and that Robinhood doesn't want to hear from you, so don't call them. But at the end of the day, it's a toss-up. I use both of them, okay? I use both of them because it's something I like to do. And they're both easy to use. So, if you're really torn, try them both out for a month or two, see which one works best, and ditch the other one if you want. Or, like me, just continue to use both of them and maybe have two different investment strategies in each one of these apps. But if you had to choose one, just one, I would probably lean toward Robinhood at the moment. Yes, I don't really care too much about the phone call thing, but I like the idea of being able to scale up. I like the idea of being able to dabble in cryptocurrency if I want to, or maybe do some stock options. And I like the amount of detail that's provided in the Robinhood app, and the fact that I can execute a share immediately. Was there something I missed in this video? Do you have any other questions about Stash versus Robinhood? If so, comment down below. I'm active on this channel and I'll be sure to get back to you right away. Otherwise, as always, continue to live your sweet life because you're worth it. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you next time.